How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Gundam card game video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today, we have our very first Gundam card game, Phantom Aria, so set for deck tech video, and I actually have some really cool new kind of like products to show off as well. We'll talk about all this when we get into the top down, but for today's video, as you can tell here, this is a unicorn deck. This is a blue-white twin unicorn blocker deck is kind of what I'm calling this. The twin unicorns. This is unicorn Banshee Norn as well as the unicorn Gundam, and it's actually super fun. I think it is maybe not literally the best deck in the game right now, but a very good and viable deck. We combine blocker strategy with really strong board presence. My version runs a lot of healing, which we can actually keep our units alive a lot longer with those compounding really annoying damage reduction effects that are in these this archetype now. So I think this deck is like pretty good and really fun. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our top down. We're going to talk a little bit about this really sweet deck box from one of our partners, Dragon Shield, and then we'll talk about the deck. Let's do it. All right, so let's start talking about this twin unicorn deck. And I do want to mention quickly before we begin, this is a brand new Dragon Shield product line called the Dragon Lock system. They have a couple different sizes of deck boxes, as well as a big thing to store them all in, and a backpack, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And they sent me, as kind of like a Dragon Shield affiliate, they sent me one of each of the things to kind of like test out. And it has been extremely good. I really like this product. I'll have a full video going over it, but as you can see here, I have been, testing it out. It's got a strong magnetic lock, but also it's got like this kind of thing, so if you shake it or if it gets, rattled around, it won't come undone. It's very nice. And it also has like this cool window. So yes, so we take that off. You can see I have another sleeve in here. You just kind of slide this thing in. And then it does, important to me, it does kind of like do the reverse, which is really nice. So here we have our deck. Also, sold separately, they have these Dragon Shield, basically like dice carriers that they fit perfectly into the Dragon Lock deck boxes, which is really nice. I mention all this stuff because, like I said, Dragon Shield sent these to me. It's not sponsored or anything, but I'm testing it out and it's very nice. And I personally really like it. And I do have a promo code with Dragon Shield. You can type Rogue5 at checkout anytime to get 5% off your Dragon Shield order, including products like this. I don't think this is available quite yet, so you have to wait until this one, goes on sale, but it is coming, up and coming. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into our deck. Of course, the deck is also in Dragon Shield sleeves, so if you want to get some beautiful Dragon Shield sleeves that work really nicely with the Gundam card game, you can also use my promo code for those as well. These are the dual matte silvers with the blue. I can't remember what it's like, icy blue or some sort of blue. Anyway, let's go over some of the stuff that I like to talk about before we go over our deck. So here we have my EX base in EX resource of choice. I would like a more unicorn-themed resource, but she's all right. And we do have this unicorn base, which is really nice. And then for the resources, I'm just running the classic foil beta resources. So those are real nice here. And then we do need some tokens, and we'll talk about the tokens when the time comes, because hey, we're running a lot of blockers. Spoilers, we're running Striker Pack. All right, so for every Gundam card game deck tech that I do, I really like to break it down in terms of pilot piles. And we have two main pilots in this deck, and they're the ones that you would have guessed, right? These are the two main unicorn pilots. There is like Merida Cruz, but well, we can only run two colors here, and I wanted to run the new Banshee Norn. So our first pilot is a classic Banner Lynx. This is my beta version. It has been I would say errated, but that's not the right word for it because it's not functionally changed. This is just the old templating. It says, when paired, if this is a link unit, draw one. It basically just means when linked. When you link it up, you get to draw a card. It's really good. So there's a level 5 One costs 2/2 civilian new type, and if you link it, you get a draw card. Bandager is really important to the deck, and +2/+2 is very good. And then our other pilot is Rita. This is maybe not surprisingly, but it was a little bit surprising to me just how good he is. He's extremely good. He's a level 4 1 cost 1/2 pilot. He's an Earth Federation new type. They both have the burst to add to hand, but more importantly, during link, when this unit receives effect damage from an enemy, reduce it by 2. That's kind of insane when you think about the kind of removal and damage that's currently in the Gundam card game. This basically means that ping damage does 0, that your close combats do 0. If your opponent somehow managed to damage this unit at all, that means Battle of Aces will do 1 damage. It's really good. So we are running Rita as well. So these are our 2 linchpins of our deck, and we'll talk about them right now. So let's talk about Bandager first. So Bandager gets a lot of very sweet units, and then Rita gets a couple pretty. Well, I mean, he gets 2 very good units. So Bandager, let's talk about his brand new Awakened Unicorn Gundam. So this is from set 4. This is a level 7/5 cost 4/6 with suppression. This is one of our great ways of finishing the game because the suppression will help us do double damage to shields, so we can actually close out the game in a timely manner once we get to the point where we can start dropping our big haymakers like the Awakened Unicorn Gundam. Obviously it links with Bandager links, and it has another effect. When we activate a command's main or action effect, choose an enemy unit, it gets -2 AP during the turn. That can be activated on your opponent's turn, by the way, if you get like a burst, which is really, really nice. And it could also be activated on our turn. We have a ton of commands in the deck, ways to just cycle through our commands, a lot of commands that draw us cards, and this is really good. And so the kind of the conceit, the goal of this deck is to be a really, really, really annoying deck to deal with, because we have a bunch of big dudes that are just hard to kill. We have damage reduction effects, and we have a lot of healing, and we have a lot of like power reducing effects as well. So we just want to survive long enough into the mid and late game where we can absolutely dominate the board. So we're running 3 copies of the Unicorn Gundam Awakened for Bandager, and then we're also running our classic Unicorn Gundam Wombo combo. So I've reduced the number of these to 3. If you saw my initial like GDO4 deck I don't recall it, the deck video that had like 5 decks, and I did talk about my first iteration of this deck. I have changed it since then, quite a bit actually. And I also reduced, I was running 4 and then 3. I reduced it to 3 and 3. So for this part, this is the Unicorn Gundam Unicorn mode. It is this one if you don't have the fancy version here. It's a level 5 4 cost 4/3, links with Bandager links. During link, when it's destroyed, return the unit's paired pilot to the hand, and then you discard a card. This is insanely good with Bandager because, you know, we also get the card draw when we link up Bandager, and then we'll get Bandager back if we discard a card, which we want to do most of the time. So it's pretty good. Other than that, it's a fine stats. It's not that great, but what makes this extremely good is how it works with the Unicorn Gundam Destroy mode. So level 7 6 cost 5/4, links with Bandager links. And it says, when paying this card, or when playing this card from your hand, you may destroy one of our link units with Unicorn mode in its card name that is level 5, which is this one. This is the one we do. If we do, play this card as though it were level 0 and had 0 cost. So essentially what we do is we can play this, link up Bandager, attack immediately because it's a link, we draw the card from Bandager, and then we can basically destroy this unit and free play our Unicorn Gundam Destroy mode, and then we get Bandager back to our hand from this effect. We'll have to discard a card, and then we can play Bandager again onto this, and then draw a card from that, and then get the link attack immediately. It's really good. In order to do that though, you need to have 6 resources, because it's 4 to play the Unicorn, 1 to play Bandager, free play this, 1 to play Bandager again. So the full 6 resources to do that. So you have to wait a little bit longer than this if you don't have the full combo, but it is a double attack that's pretty early. So it's really solid. And then also, when this attacks, we can choose an enemy unit and rest it, which is really good at either, you know, target killing something or, you know, getting past a blocker or something like that. So yeah, that's part of our combo. This is the OG Set 1 Unicorn Gundam combo. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. you have to jump through a lot of hoops to get it to work, whereas now you can just play Awaken and get Suppression, but it's still pretty solid, and you get to draw a lot of cards and get a lot of like card selection. Now let's talk about Rita. Now Rita, he actually has a really sweet mobile suit with the Unicorn Gundam Banshee Norn Destroy mode. One of my favorite mobile suits. I love the Banshee. This one's awesome. Level 7 and 5 costs 5/5. During Link, we can activate on our main phase, exile 3 blue cards from our trash, and we set this unit as active. It can't choose the enemy player as an attack target during this turn, and when it attacks, all enemy units get a -1 AP during the whole turn. So the idea with this one is we play this dude, we link it up with Rita, it'll become a memeable 6/7 that also has this damage reduction effect, and then it can basically attack a whole bunch. We'll get the first attack, usually probably at the enemy player, and then for every 3 blue cards we exile, we get to set it back as active and then attack again, which is super good. We can't attack the enemy player on like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and yada attacks, but every time we do, all the things our opponent controls get -1 AP, which is really, really nice. So you basically hit your opponent and then you start cleaning up their board. And you can activate this first ability multiple times in a turn. It's not a once per turn. So as long as you have a lot of blue cards in your trash, you can just keep doing it. We're running a full 4 of in the deck. I feel like this is just such a powerful card and such a big linchpin of the deck. I always want at least a couple of these when I play this deck. And so those are our big like haymakers. Those are our twin unicorns. We have just the regular Unicorn Gundam, both in Destroy mode and Awaken mode, and in Unicorn mode. We have the full Monty here, and then we also have the Banshee Norn for Rita. Very good. Now Rita also has one more unit that he can link with that is really good. I just wanted more stuff that Rita can link with, and I felt like the best option here is the Delta Plus. So the Delta Plus is a level 4/3 cost 4/3. Links with any Earth Federation trait, which is Rita. Unfortunately, Banner is not. He's a civilian, but this is a link with Rita. And it has Repair 1, and during Link, this unit gains 1 HP. So it'll basically be a 4/4, and then it'll get the +1/+2, making it a 5/6 with Repair 1, and this damage reduction effect from Rita. So this is actually an extremely annoying unit to deal with. A 5/6 that is resilient to a lot of just almost all the damage out there in the Gundam card game right now. And it has Repair. Basically means your opponent has to like smash into it with like a unit, and it's already a 5/6, so it's a pretty big unit. So yeah, it's a really annoying card, and if you can play this on turn 4, you're gonna have just a really annoying beater. So I'm running the full 4 of the Delta Plus. And so those are all of the Link units in the deck. Obviously they work extremely well with our pilots. And you know, any like pilots and links kind of basically form the foundation of any Gundam card game deck. Now we do have other units as well, and they're also equally as annoying. So let's go over them. First up, we have the brand new Silver Bullet. I said this card I thought was okay in my set review. It's much better than that. It turns out this damage reduction effect is just insanely good right now. It's a level 5/3 cost 4/4 with blocker. It doesn't link with anything we care about, but it says when this unit receives effect damage from an enemy, reduce it by 3. It's basically Rita's effect, but even better. It's like, it basically makes it so he doesn't take any damage from anything unless your opponent's doing 4 or more effect damage in a single shot. It's insane. So it's just a really good card. We're running 3 copies of this. You know, sometimes if depending on the deck you're facing, don't be afraid to put like Banner on this thing. You won't get the card draw, but you'll have a 6/6 blocker that just doesn't take like damage from enemy effects, and then we have a bunch of ways to heal it up with other cards in the deck, and it can actually run away with the game. So don't underestimate the Silver Bullet. It's extremely good. I'll just set this in the extra pile, and then we have our Gundam Lifrith, and we have our Rick Diaz. Now you can replace the Rick Diaz with the Flat, which is the same thing as the Lifrith. It's a 2/4. I like the Rick Diaz just because it can actually kill any X base. But you know, if you find that you need the more defensive Lifrith, if you need the 2/4, yeah, you can just put in the Flat instead, depending on like the meta at your locals, or you know, the people that you play against most frequently. So now this is a little bit flexible, but yeah, we just have a bunch of blockers so we don't die. So we can get to this and control the game. So basically we have a bunch of unicorns, and then we do have a bunch of blockers. So yeah, we are running a ton of blockers in the deck. You can call this a unicorn blockers deck. I like calling it the twin unicorns because it sounds cooler. But yeah, we got a bunch of blockers, and then we got our double unicorns. And so that makes up all of our units. Bunch of blockers be really annoying, and then finish the game with our suppression and our multiple attacks from the Banshee Norn, clean up the board. Now, the rest of the deck is going to be command cards that basically like dross cards and do cool stuff. So first up we have Healthy Curiosity. This is a level 3 1-cost command. On main, you draw a card. By the way, all these synergize well with the Unicorn Gundam because we can, anytime we play a command or activate a main or action effect, we get something -2. And then for every blue card, every 3 blue cards in our trash, we can do the Banshee. So keep that in mind. They're in this deck for those reasons. So anyway, on main, we draw a card, and if there are 2 or more cards named Healthy Curiosity in our trash, we choose an enemy unit with 4 HP and rest it. It's really good. It's really good. I'm running a full play set of this. I actually might even splurge and buy 3 more of these alternate arts. Because, hey, I really like War in the Pocket, and I really like Christina McKenzie. So any card I can play with Christina in the art is great. And then we're also running kind of something you might not have expected. Dramatic Turnabout. Now, I was running Kindness, which is a pretty good card for this deck, and honestly, an option if you don't want to run Dramatic Turnabout. But hear me out, I think Dramatic Turnabout's really, really good. The worst part about it is the level cost here, but or Kind-Hearted, not Kindness. But yeah, I think this is a definite option as well, because it does a similar thing as what we want to do. We get to draw a card, and it kind of recycles itself, and also makes so we can't be destroyed by effect ability. So if your opponents are running a lot of like just destroy effects, like Giant Slaying or any of that kind of stuff, yeah, this definitely is an option. And there's one more option we'll talk about at the end of the video as well that I think is really good for the deck. So anyway, let me talk about what I'm actually playing, and that is Dramatic Turnabout. So it's a level 5 2-cost command. On burst, you draw a card, which is fantastic. That's one of the reasons why Kind-Hearted is also good, because on burst, you also get to do the effect. But this main effect is you choose a friendly damage unit, and it recovers 2 HP, and then you also draw a card. I think this is just so good for the deck. Just healing up our really annoying dudes, healing up the Silver Bullet or anything that Rita is linked to is just so powerful, and it just makes it incredibly annoying for our opponent. Also, it's a blue card that draws us a card. It does everything that we want to do. I think this card is just so good for this deck. It is absolutely fantastic. I recommend trying it out. If you haven't tried it out yet, I recommend trying it out. And then we also run Striker Pack for more blockers. Not only is it a command card that will trigger Unicorn Awakens effect, but hey, it also gives us a blocker. And if you didn't know, it's a level 4 2-cost. On main, when you play it, you get to pick a 2/4 blocker or a 4/2 blocker. So you get to pick one of these 2 tokens that come into play. Usually you pick the 2/4, but some situations you pick the 4/2 if your opponent's not doing much near the end of the game and you want to just kind of close things out. Or if you get it off a burst, you get this 3/3 blocker. You only do that if you have no other of these tokens in play. So they basically trade them up early. We're running 3 copies of the Striker Pack. It's just super, super good. It's a burst that gives us a dude. And if our opponent attacks into us early, we can get an early 3/3 blocker, which is just really, really nice. And then the final thing is our base. We're running the Devow. I think this is actually really solid for this deck for the same reasons that I thought Dramatic Turnabout are really solid for this deck. It's a level 3 1-cost 0/5 base. Burst, deploy shield to hand, and then we can activate main once per turn. We can pay 2 and heal one of our units 2 HP. So once again, all of our really annoying units that are like tough to deal with, we can just heal them up. So it turns it into a situation where our opponent basically just has to kill them all in one shot. And when they're already huge, like the 5/6 or the 6/7 Unicorn that also have the damage reduction, it just makes it really annoying for our opponent. This deck is it just turns out to be really, really annoying. Yeah, I think it's quite good, and I recommend trying it out. So that's essentially the deck here. We do have a couple more options. So like I mentioned, you can also run Kind-Hearted. Just having more blue cards to activate your Unicorn Gundam, your Banshee is great. So this is definitely an option. You could swap out any of our commands for this. I think it's a decent option. If you think you're good on blockers, hey, you can put Kind-Hearted in instead of our Striker Pack and go even big draw. And the other option, instead of some of our low-level blockers here, so instead of something like your Rick Diaz or maybe your Lifrith, depending on your persuasion here, you could run the new Zelote, which is a level 2 2-cost 3/2 blocker, but it can't choose the enemy player as the attack target. The big upside of this is 1, it's level 2, and then 2, it's a blue card, so we can get more effects off of the Banshee. I find that by the time we actually play the Banshee and we can start playing our draw cards and cycling through stuff, I felt like I didn't really need more. But if you feel like you need more, you can add in some Kind-Hearteds and some Zelotes. Definitely an option. I would definitely like recommend testing out what version you personally like more. But this is kind of what I've settled on for the time being, at least after like the first couple weeks of the Gundam card game. So yeah, that is our unicorn or our twin unicorns deck. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. There should also be a deck list down there as well. And thank you so much for watching and supporting the Gundam card game content. I really appreciate you for being here. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.